Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Brand Momentum Morning Show. How is everybody doing? So great to be here. I am Faith James. I'm your host of the show. This is your daily dose of vitamin I. This month, we are reading from What You Think of Me Is None of My Business, Terry Cole-Whittaker. It's a great, fun read, and I am so excited to be diving into today's topic, which is chapter 2, Abundance is Your Right. So if you are so inclined, please share and tag, invite some people in who, could really benefit from this awakening is what I'm calling it. This idea of that the way you think, the things that you believe really dictate what your life experience is. So, good morning, beautiful Amber. How are you, gorgeous? We've missed you. Hello, beautiful Sharon. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Donna. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, gorgeous Arvis, being awesome over on the YouTube channel. I love it. So let us read. This is chapter 2. Again, what you think of me is none of my business. So we're in chapter 2. Yesterday, we read in chapter 1, power, you already have it. And some of the truths that go along with that. Awesome. Your belief system creates your reality, and there is no other law. That's pretty clear. Your belief system creates your reality, and there is no other law. Beliefs are the very foundation of your life. Your beliefs are based on decisions you made about yourself and about life at the time of your conception and birth, and in response to later experiences. And because of your misinterpretation of these experiences, many of your beliefs are mistaken. The mistaken beliefs simply are not nurturing and actually cut you off from the supply of life and its opportunities. So this morning in the CEO boot camp, we did such great deep work on beliefs, and all of the CEOs who are enrolled are doing some powerful shifting around belief. Good morning, Stelita. How are you, gorgeous? One such mistaken belief is the belief in scarcity, the belief that there isn't much and that what there is running out. The person who holds this belief sees life as a pie with just so many slices. If you get a piece of the pie, there is one less slice for others. Or if they have the slice you want, too bad, it's gone. If you succeed, someone else fails. If you're prosperous, somebody else must be poor. There isn't enough money. There isn't enough love. There isn't enough appreciation. There isn't enough success or attention. There aren't enough jobs, mates, and on and on. It's as though life were a seesaw. You can't have any more because there simply isn't enough to go around. So you must protect and defend what you have, take what someone else has, and prevent others from getting. I recall a young man who came to me with a desperate career problem. His father owned a drugstore, which had been owned by his father. When the young man was preparing to go to college, the father told him, "Go ahead and get an education, but remember, you belong here in this business. It's in your blood, and you'll never succeed anywhere else." The son explained to me that he didn't want to work in or run the drugstore, but he didn't believe there was anything else out there for him. Nevertheless, after he graduated from college, he tried a number of jobs and failed in each. Finally, in desperation, he gave up and went to work with his father in the drugstore. The father said, "I'm glad you finally saw the light. I was right all along. I know more about you than you do about yourself." The fact was The son was miserable in the drugstore. He felt defeated and gutless. And at this point, he sought counseling. Through counseling, the son gained insight into his belief system. He had bought the belief system of his father, and that there was one slice of pie left. That slice was a job in his dad's drugstore. In counseling, he discovered his fear that if he succeeded in anything else, he would betray his father and lose his love and approval. He loved his father so much that he was willing to give up his own happiness. Thus, his life had become one of compromise, which worked for no one. I mean, how many times has that happened? Good morning, beautiful Jacqueline. How are you, gorgeous? How many times has that happened? You give up what it is that you know brings you joy, love, light, happiness, because you're trying to make somebody else happy, but it's not really your truth. It's not really what you set out to do in the first place. Counseling revealed that he was acting from a belief in scarcity. So he changed his personal law from, I can only succeed in my dad's drugstore, to, I am a capable, worthwhile person, and I am able to be fulfilled, successful, and prosperous in any job I choose. He accepted that there were plenty of jobs and right situations out there for him and plenty of opportunities. He quit the drugstore, struck out on his own, and in a couple of years had become a very successful accountant. Initially, his father had difficulty accepting his son's independence, but because of the son's willingness to tell the truth, to do what he wanted to do and still express love for his father, he gradually gained the father's acceptance and increasing respect. Later, the father confided that he too had wanted to leave the drugstore when his father was alive, but had lacked the courage to do so. Wow. Good morning, beautiful Vivian. How are you? The father wanted to quit the drugstore. Wow. Through your belief in scarcity, you make yourself a slave to the idea that there's only one job, only a few friends, only one place to live, only a couple of options, just enough money, only one possible answer or solution. I recall a woman, a well-to-do divorcee, who came in for counseling. She was 40, but she looked 60. She was overweight. Her hair was mousy and her face lined. Her feeling of self-worth was so low that when she walked into my office, I felt as if the aliveness had been sucked out by a vacuum cleaner. She told me that her life wasn't working, that nothing was going right. What are you doing? I asked. How are you participating in life? She said, what can I do? No one seems to care, and there's nothing to do anyway. Nothing to do means that the pie plate of activities and fun is empty and life is one big blank. What would you like to do today if you could do anything you wanted? I asked. She paused. Well, I would like to go to the beach. She said, great, we are going to the beach. I said, when are you going to the beach? I asked. How can I? Nobody will go with me, she replied. How many people have you asked? 2, and they're all too busy. Do you realize, I said, that there are this book says 4 billion, now we're closer to 7, 4 billion people on this planet, and you're letting the last 2 you asked turn to run your life? Here's the pie again. This time it's the people pie. Despite the abundance of people to draw from, you will hang on the relationship that isn't happy or fulfilling. Options galore are always available, but if you're operating from a personal law of scarcity, You won't open your mind to anything. Therefore, your prison is your own making. Wow. I mean, if you think about it and apply it to scenarios or situations that you may have been in or people that you know are in, you think about it, right? I can't go to the beach. Nobody wants to go to the beach with me. I asked two people, and forget about the 4 billion or the 7 billion. How many people are in the community, right? Maybe make a post in your community Facebook group saying we're doing like, a group beach outing. Who wants to come? There's always a possibility. There's always another way. Where there's a will, there's a way. But if we're not willing, right? If we're not willing to believe that there is another way, we're just going to sit and, like I say, you're fighting for your limitation. She was fighting for her limitation to see, nobody likes me. I asked two people, nobody wants to go to the beach. Nothing works out for me. I'm just here all alone. I'm just, where's she living? Victim village. Victim village and scarcity town is where she's living. And so think about for you right now, what is something that you want to do that you have said, absolutely, Jacqueline, anything is possible, that you have said, oh, I can't do it. It's not possible, or I'm not sure how. Just think, just notice, right? This is what we get to do. We get to notice. What have you said? Oh, I can't, I don't have enough money. I can't. And what I always like to remind everyone is, if it was a life and death situation, if somebody said your family is at risk if you don't figure out how to have fun, or if you don't figure out how to get more money in your bank account, you would do it. So there is always a way. Anything is possible. There are always options, but we choose to stay in the scarcity, the lack, because we get to prove ourselves right. Just like that father in the sea. I told you I was right all along. This was the best job for you. You tried all those others, and see, now you're back. And then you come into agreement with these people. This morning in the CEO program, we talked about the people in the dark shadows, the dark shadow people. We come into agreement and say, yes, you're right. Nobody likes me. I can't even get one person to go to the beach with me. I'm not worthy. And then there you go, sliding down that slope. Whereas if you were to say, okay, you take it as a challenge. Let me see, I'm intending to go to the beach. I want to go and, maybe have like a sisterhood beach outing. I am going to find two ladies, two girlfriends, two women. You may not even know them. To say, hey, we're off to the beach. And you'd be so surprised. And so we limit ourselves because the belief system is there is not enough. There are not enough friends to go to the beach with. There are not enough people to come to my events. There are not enough people to watch my shows. We set these limits around our mind. Remember yesterday, the horse on the little flighty plastic chair. He came into agreement with limit and lack and scarcity. Oh, I don't have enough strength to move from this rail. There they go. They've tied me up again. Not really looking deep into what's really going on. So let's continue. Okay. You see, the mind is a success mechanism. Because of its duplicating nature, it will motivate you successfully to create your beliefs in real situations. The subconscious is like a computer. You put garbage in, you get garbage out. If you affirm over and over that at my age, I can't find a job, then the machine, in essence, says, that's right, there aren't any jobs for you. You cancel out all those jobs that are or could be good for you. Because this is why I say you want to ask questions. You don't want to make declarative statements. Nothing ever works out for me. then your mind, your computer, just going to say, let's program in, nothing works out for her. But if you flip on that and you say, you know what, everything's working out for my good, then your entire being is looking, searching, finding ways to have things start to work out for you. It's just as easy to say the negative as it is to say the positive. And you think about it and notice for yourself, why do I persist in saying I can't buy this house, or I could never afford this house, or I can't go to that event. That's too much of a fancy event for me. Back to the first line, your belief system creates your reality, and there is no other law. What are you believing? What do you believe? Do you believe all things are possible? Do you believe that? Or do you think it's just a load of crap? Good morning, gorgeous Marion. How are you? Do you believe that? So check in, notice in with yourself. Yep, I know that scripture. I've heard it, but do you believe it? Can you believe for it? Can you walk into it and say, okay, I'm going to give this belief system thing a go, and to start saying it and training your mind to move in concert with you, not against you. I had one client, she messaged me, I think it was last week, and because I had checked in and said, how are you doing? And she said, like she was in overwhelm, and she said something like, yeah, I think I bit off more than I can chew. And then she was going on. And the one thing that I never do is I never give energy to doubt and fear and negativity. So I just messaged her back and I said, no, ma'am, you don't get to curse your life. Because in essence, that's what you're doing. Your words have power. This morning in my Bible study, because I read the Bible, the whole front to cover every year. So I'm cycled back now to the beginning, right? And, of course, reading in Genesis, where it says, let me find it. And this is why when I say vocal activation, when I say do your voice memo recordings, it's for this reason. In the beginning, God created the sky and the earth. The earth was empty and had no form. Darkness covered the ocean, and God's spirit was moving over the water. Then God said, let there be light. Now, look what I just read above. The earth was empty and had no form. Your bank account was empty and had no form. Darkness covered the ocean. Darkness lives in your home. Darkness is in your soul. Darkness is in your bank account. And God's spirit was moving over the water. Then God said, let there be light. And there was light. So God didn't look at it and go, oh my gosh, this darkness out here is real thick. I'm not really sure that there's any possibilities for light. I'm just going to sit here and bemoan the darkness. God just looked at the darkness. The earth was empty and had no form. Darkness covered the ocean. And God said, let there be light. Let that be you. Can you just come into agreement, whether you understand it or not, whether you think it's going to work or not? Like, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Exactly. Anything the heart's desire. Yes, I believe, Sharon. Beautiful. So, and God said, let there be light. And there was light. Okay, moving on down. So God made earth and okay. Then God said, let the water under the sky be gathered together so the dry land will appear. And it happened. And God said, and it happened. Moving on down. Then God said, let the earth produce plants, some to make grains for seeds, and others to make fruits for seeds in them. And God said, and it happened. Moving on down. Then God said, let there be lights in the sky to separate day from night. These lights will be used for signs, seasons, days, and years. They will be in the sky to give light to the earth. And it happened. So moving on down. Then God said, let the water be filled with living things and let birds fly in the air above the earth. I mean, Momentum Crew, how many more do you want me to read? Then God said, let the earth be filled with animals, each producing more of its own kind. And it happened. Want me to keep going? Then God said, let us make human beings in our image and likeness. Should I keep going? And God said, look, I have given you plants that have grains and seeds and all the trees with fruits who have seeds in them. And it happened. Please let this be a blueprint for your life. Whatever you want to have happen, just simply say it. Don't use your breath to curse your life. Because every time you give life, you give breath to, oh, this is a problem. This is a problem. This can't work out. This is not working out. Because there's power in your spoken word. When you say I am, the power of the words I am is God's name. I am that I am is the name of God. The great I am. So when you call on the name of God and then you go, oh, I'm so sick and tired of being broke. I am not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to teach these people. You are basically calling on the name of God in a way that is causing things to happen that God did not set forth. He created us to be wonderful and awesome and prosperous. And he said it's his pleasure to give us a kingdom. So what are you doing when you say, I am not worthy? God, you made me and I'm not worthy. So I need a return receipt, please. Look at my college bestie, Karen. I love it. She said she was just passing through before doing errands, and that word about not speaking negativity and doubt. Yes. You are actively cursing your life. Actively cursing your life when you prophesy those negative things about you. And again, hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying you won't have the thought, but you get to just clear it out. Nope. What happened when Satan came to tempt Jesus? It didn't say, oh, he never was tempted. Oh, absolutely, he was tempted by the devil multiple times. But how he canceled that was, devil, get thee behind me. That was Jesus basically saying, talk to the hand. So you get to do the same thing when those negative thoughts come. Oh my gosh, I can't do this job. Cancel, like Jacqueline says, devil, not today. Get thee behind me. I am well equipped and able. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You cancel it, you shun it, you get it out of there. It is not saying it won't come, because sometimes this is what we try to lean on. Well, if this problem, this perceived problem is coming to me, then it must mean something about me, and we give it life. Psalms 23. Even if I walk through a very dark valley, I will not be afraid because you are with me. So it doesn't say you're not going to walk through the dark valley. There will be dark valley seasons in our lives. But the guidance here is, as you're walking through it, even though you will walk through it, you have no fear because you know God is with you. So it will come, negative thoughts will come, worry may come. It's your responsibility to clear it immediately. Don't spend any time with it. Don't sit and have a conversation with it. Don't kiki with it. Don't say, that's interesting. Let's talk about this some more. Nope. Be gone. Yes, absolutely, Jacqueline. We will be tested. And you get to demonstrate your big faith when you say, I may not see a way, but I know who makes the way. Period, done, end of story. You're not trying to figure it out on your own. You know you have a great helper who says the battle is mine. Come to me, all ye who are heavy laden, burdened, and I will give you rest. So you know your helper is there, always on the job, 24/7. So when you are counteracting all the good that's happening and cursing, prophesying against your own life, that's why your abundance isn't flowing as quickly as it could be, because you're out there fighting it. And then you say, see, I tell you this doesn't work, because you're out there canceling it. That's why it's not working for you. That's why it's not coming up for you as quickly as you would like it, because you're not standing defiantly in the truth and the knowing that you, my love, your words, your belief system creates the reality of your life. There is no other law. If you say you can or you say you can't, you're right. That's where this comes from. Your belief system creates your reality. I can't ever do anything right. This tech thing is too, I can't. That's what's coming to you. If you shift into all things are possible, and I know there is absolutely a way for me to figure this tech thing out, and I'm going to find it, the solution will come to you. Guys, let me know if this is landing for you. Exactly. Do what you can and leave the rest to God. And the thing that is so simple, but it's not easy, because our mind, our bodies are being wants to, it's like you want to fight for your limitations. You want to defend it and say, see, this is why I'm not worthy. This is why I'm not good. This is why nothing works out for me. You are like an attorney in court defending your limitations, as opposed to saying, what is the way to get this thing out of here the fastest way possible? I have no words for it. I don't even want to see it. I don't even want to hear from it. You're trying to prove yourself right. You're trying to prove yourself right. I'm not worthy. See, this is why my bank account is where it is. I can't get anybody to fill my program. See, I told you. Nobody's out here trying to buy any programs for $10,000. I told you. You're defending your limitations. You're prophesying against your life. You are cursing your very being. You are cursing God's creation, because you didn't create yourself. So it's 10:30. Okay, let's go. Let's go, because this is so good. All right, let me see where I was. Yet when you live out of knowledge of love, when you live out of knowledge, love, and abundance, the world is yours. You absolutely create your own reality. The woman with nothing to do was a typical example. I told her, you can go to the beach alone, or you can walk down the street and ask, anybody want to go to the beach with me? Right? That's exactly what I said. Clearly, she refused to take up the options. She warily left my office, unwilling to be responsible for her own happiness, and I never saw her again. Wow. See, this is again, she was fighting for her limitations. She was fighting to be proven right. Nobody likes me. I asked two people, nobody wants to go to the beach for me. When you are ready to say, the life that I'm experiencing right now, I am 100% responsible for it. It is not the government's fault. It is not your boss's fault. It is not your client's fault. It's not anybody's. You stand in 100% responsibility. But if you choose to stay in victim, if you choose to stay in blame, if you choose to look at other people and say it's their problem, you will persist exactly where you are. And you get to take responsibility for that. Nobody's coming to save you. You get to save yourself. You get to make a decision. You want to get some vitamin D? You want to go to the beach? You want to hear the ocean lap and tell you loving thoughts? Get in your car and go to the beach. Why do you need to wait for somebody to go with you? Sure, is it fun to have friend and company? Of course, but you can also go to the beach if that's what you want to do. Don't wait for people. Go and get it done. Awesome. Thank you, Sharon. Absolutely. We get to hear the truth because there's so much work to be done. If you think about where we are right now as a society, as a nation, there's so much low vibration going on. We get to shift out of this, and we get to know that it starts with us. It starts with us. So she never saw her again. When you rid yourself of your belief in scarcity, you'll find that you have unlimited opportunities for self-expression, unlimited opportunities for financial abundance, for jobs, for creativity, for relationships. Scarcity creates pressure, stress, jealousy, resentment. Abundance creates support, love. Man has the incredible ability to change his life. There is no limit except that imposed by our mistaken belief system. So let's wrap it there with that. And then I want you to just to check in if you can today. Here's a great way to shift into that belief when your programming all along has been there's not enough, there's not enough, there's not enough, is to go out and go on what I call a wealth walk. And I've shared this before where you go out and all you're doing is walking, but you're noticing. You're not just, head down doing your power walk. It's a wealth walk. So you're noticing and you look at a tree and I don't know how many thousands and thousands of leaves are in a tree. Visualize those as the things that you're desirous of. If it's money, each leaf represents $100 bill. Let's just say. So every palm frond is $100 bill. Every grass blade is $100 bill. Every leaf, every flower, every petal is $100. If you can get yourself into that mindset, and as you're walking and you're noticing and you're like, wow, look at the abundance that I'm surrounded with, right? If you can see that, Bob Proctor says, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you can see that you're surrounded by an abundance of life, of nature, of everything, and make it mean for you what you want it to mean, if you can visualize that, you can hold it in your hand. It can absolutely happen for you. And so notice your thought patterns, notice your languaging. What are you saying? So one thing easy to do, it's like, oh, this problem, don't see it as a problem. This is an opportunity for you to solve something. Make it fun, make it like a game. But if you see it as, oh my God, my loves, that's all you're bringing. That's all you're bringing. Yes, everything else is a bonus. This is one of the key things that when you become self-aware and you become comfortable with yourself, a lot of people who have challenges have a difficult time keeping their own company. That you always got to be buzzing around like a bee, like a butterfly, doing something, that you can't be still and be in oneness with yourself, with your thoughts. That's why meditation is so powerful, because it causes you to sit and just be with yourself and notice and have a conversation with God and think about what are your plans, your opportunities. And if you spend a day by yourself just mapping out the second half of this year, what are my goals, dreams, hopes, aspirations? So that's a powerful exercise to do. Absolutely. Do what for sure. If you're now in a place where, whether it's a work situation or a relationship situation, and every day you're just like, oh, you're shortening your life because you're just in stress. Your body is in like a fight or flight all the time. And you know, the book where she said the woman was 40, but she looked like she was 60. Because she's just in victim and blame and nothing's working out for me and everybody's against me. Shift that. Don't defend your limitations. Push them out. Be like Jesus. Get thee behind me. Even when he was tired and he was weak, because he'd been what? Fasting 40 days, 40 nights. Listen, you know, if you intentionally try to do a fasting, you have to be so strong-willed, because the hunger pants. So you think about, he's in his weakened state and still has the courage and the wherewithal to say, get thee behind me. So that even if you're like, oh my gosh, I've tried this thing 10 times, it's not working out for me, still persist and say, no, it's going to work out. Thomas Edison, who created and invented the light bulb, 10,000 different ways, calculations, mechanics, 10,000. And now look, the world is a light. Do you have the chutzpah, the courage, the determination to go at a thing 10,000 times without just like throwing in the towel and just like totally giving it up? So that's what you get to focus on for today. Notice yourself, notice your thoughts. Notice yourself, notice your thoughts. What are you thinking most? How is your thinking? Are you thinking possibility, hope, aspirations? Or are you thinking limit, scarcity, fear, doubt, nothing ever works out for me, I'm so confused, I don't know what to do, like, is that you? Good morning, Khadijah. How are you, beautiful? Exactly. Every leaf, every grass blade, every petal, every flower is worth $1,000. Let it mean for you what it means for you, but go on a wealth walk and let that be a way to shift. Like when I did this, and it was a breezy day, and the trees were kind of waving, and I was like, I just visualized like, yes, here I am coming down on the red carpet or coming down at some stage somewhere, and everybody is just like waving, and even the pine trees way over were waving, and I just visualized like even the people who couldn't come close up to, you know, VIP line were over there just like waving at me. And I can't even tell you how that shifted my energy. So if you're feeling down and in the doldrums, like, oh my gosh, nothing is working out for me, go on a wealth walk. See each leaf, each tree as $1,000. Each leaf is $1,000. See each leaf as a person. You can make it whatever you want it to be. That your people are waving to you, they're celebrating you, they're honoring you, they're grateful for you. They're grateful for your presence, that you mean so much and you matter so much, and they're letting that be known. If you do that, that shifts your energy straight away. Good morning, Juliet, my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Khadijah. Yeah, so who, as I wrap us, who is declaring today they're going to go on a wealth walk? This is not an exercise walk per se, right? This is basically you exercising your mind. You go on a wealth walk, you see the leaves in the trees, the palm fronds, the pine, cones, whatever, as representing your abundance, your wealth, your prosperity, your overflow, whatever that means for you. And just walk in it and just be open to the admiration that they're giving you, that it's saying, yes, you are so well worthy. We are here with our $1,000 leaves just blowing in the wind. Come and take us anytime you want. We are here for you. We applaud you. We acknowledge you. We salute you. Who's doing that wealth walk? Awesome. So Vivian, you get to let us know when you go and how it was for you. Who else is taking a wealth walk? It's a beautiful, beautiful exercise. Yes. Good. Hello, Michelle. Yes. Happy to hop in here with you and hear all you. Oh, I love you. Thank you. Yes. Every leaf, every palm frond is $1,000. Yes. Delita's in. Sharon's doing the wealth walk. And admire and take it in. One of the things when somebody says, gives you a compliment or something, I say, I receive it. That means I'm taking it in. I'm not only just saying, acknowledging it, like I see, oh, thank you. I say, thank you. And I receive that means I have let that into my soul. I have taken those kind words and I've deposited them into my soul. I receive it. Thank you. And I receive it. So I'm building in my belief system. Sometimes we're not able to receive gracefully. We want to say, oh, somebody says, oh my gosh, I love your dress. You're like, oh, this old schmata. No, thank you. Thank you. I received that. Oh my gosh, Faith, you look like a queen in that dress. Thank you so much. I received that. Yes, I am a queen. And I thank you for witnessing me. And I thank you for acknowledging me. Thank you. Yes, I receive it. Right? It's not, you didn't give it to me and I just put it on like the corner table. When you have a party on the gift table, you're like, oh, just put it over there. No, you've just given me, I'm going to hold it in my hand. I'm going to open it in front of you. Oh, I love it. Thank you. I receive it. If you shift into that, that will be so wonderful because it's such a gift, it's such a gifting when somebody gives you a compliment. When they take the time to notice you, and not just to notice you, but then to come back and say, I just want to let you know this thing that you did was wonderful. It shifted me. It made me think in a different way. I just want to let you know that. Yes, I love that. Receive it with gratitude, with deep, profound gratitude. Don't just put it on the gift table over there. Oh, drop it with the rest of those. No, open it up right away. Like, when you give somebody a gift and if you're in person, the gift back to you is the reaction on their face. Like they open up and it's like, oh my gosh, how did you know? I exactly wanted this. And you feel so overjoyed that you gave them something that lit them up. It's not just oh, great. Thank you. I'm gonna put that over there. Right? You want that like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. So absolutely receive with gratitude. Go on your wealth walk, receive with gratitude, come back tomorrow. Let me know how it went for you. I love each and every one of you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just send you off with such a big blessing on your life, a big blessing on you and everything that you do. The fact that you are here, that you're taking time to be here, appointment viewing on the Brand Momentum Morning Show. So many of you loyal to the core, showing up and getting your daily deposits, your daily dose of vitamin I, because then what you're doing is we're causing a ripple effect. So you come here, you get filled up. Now you're nourished up. Now you're going to go on a wealth walk. Go tell other people to go take a wealth walk. They're like, what are you talking about? It's like, yep. Oh, this girl, Faith, I heard her talk about this. This is what it is. Let's try it together. Now you and your bestie are on a wealth walk. And you're visualizing and you're like, oh my gosh, look at that leaf. That's our trip to Saint-Tropez. Oh my gosh, look at that palm frond. Oh my goodness, that's our G6 trip that we're going to France. And you can have the best time together, having fun, visualizing, setting your path clear. That you know that let me give everybody the line again that we started with in chapter 2. Your belief system creates your reality, and there is no other law. No other law. What you believe becomes your reality. So if you look at your life and what's going on, you get to check in and say, what am I really believing? What am I really believing? And this morning in the CEO program, the bootcamp and mastermind, we talked about the belief and the fact that you get to acknowledge that there are shadow beliefs, that there are shadow people way in the back that are also part of that belief system. And if you don't attend to them, if you don't let them know, hey, I see you here, guess what? The movie is over. We get to clear and transition the show. You get to go. Thank you for coming. Thank you for playing. Thank you for watching. But now you get to go. And we have such a powerful exercise that the CEOs are doing to acknowledge, address, and clear. Because if you don't clear the shadow people, you can give lip service all you want to, yeah, I believe the shadow people have a different belief system and they're still there. What are you doing about them? Are you pretending like they're not there? Les Brown said this. I'm going to wrap you guys with this. He said, you may be done with your past, but your past is not done with you. So if you don't clear up what's happened in the past, if you just continue to stamp it down and tamp it down and pretend like it doesn't exist, your past is not done with you. It will continue to show up in each and every single thing that you do. You think you're believing, you think you're big on like positive. Check your life. How's your life? How's your bank account? How is everything showing up for you? How are your relationships? How's your relationship, your intimate relationships? How are your bestie relationships? How are the relationships with the people in your community? You get to notice those, and that's where the truth will lie. We can kid ourselves and tell ourselves all the things that we want. The shadow people hold the truth, and until we address the shadow people and ask them politely with gratitude to move on out, they're going to still be back there doing their thing because you're pretending like they don't exist and they're not done with you. They're like, no, I'm not. You're in a conversation with somebody or had an argument. You're like, okay, I'm done. And they're like, nope, I'm not done. I'm not done speaking. I haven't said my piece. Your shadow people haven't said their piece. You haven't acknowledged them. So they still get to go and do all the craziness that they're doing. So I highly, highly encourage every single one of you to connect with me about when the next CEO Bootcamp launch is happening. We're on day 2 and already people are seeing shifts. People are having powerful transformations and it's day 2. We have 6 weeks together. If you want to still jump in, absolutely. We can make that happen. We can make way for you to do that. So let me see if I can find that link again. Just go to the ceointensive.com and check it out and get curious. Get curious to what's going on around you. If your life isn't what you desired it to be, if you set your big, huge intentions and you've written those down and you're looking at your life now and you're like, I'm not even seeing like a tenth, a quarter of this thing that I've written out that I said I believe, but it's not showing up. You get to talk to yourself about the shadow people. What's in the shadow? What's in your shadow belief that you're not willing to look at, that you're not willing to clean up? Because until you clean it up, nothing is going to shift. You will continue in the same loop, in the same cycle, year after year after year. And you create your life. So if your life, all of it, work, spirituality, your friends, your intimate if it's not in a 10 out of 10 or a close to a 10 out of 10, if you can't mark it that way, then you get to be curious and notice what is really going on here. Because I say I believe, I say I'm doing these things, I say I think positively, but it's not showing up. There's something in the middle. There is filter in the middle that you get to clear up. So go ahead and let's have a conversation about the CEO Bootcamp. I'm going to wrap us. Love you guys so much. I will be here for you again tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Remember to share the video if you're watching on the replay, #replay. I'll come back and answer any questions that you may have. And you get to be fully expressed in your life, the life that you want, the life that you are desirous of, but it starts with you and only you. Love you guys. Take care. Be well.